When we imagine our place in the universe, we picture the night sky we know, a canopy thick with stars, the comforting band of the Milky Way arching overhead, a busy, bustling neighborhood of cosmic lights. We live in the suburbs of our galaxy, the Orion Arm, a place rich with gas, dust, and the raw materials of life. But what if you were born somewhere else? What if you were born not in the fertile suburbs, but in the desolate, freezing badlands? Imagine a planet born at the very edge of the Milky Way, the Galactic Rim. Here the galaxy doesn't look like a band of light. It looks like a distant, indifferent city on the horizon. You are perched on the precipice of the intergalactic void, a cliff edge overlooking the terrifying empty abyss. Is there a lonelier existence? To be an outcast star system, starved of heavy metals, exposed to the raw radiation of the universe, and cut off from the cosmic community. Today, we travel to the absolute limit of our galaxy, to explore the life, the view, and the silent tragedy of being born at the Milky Way's edge. Chapter 1. The Metal-Poor Wasteland. The first tragedy of the Galactic Rim is a chemical one. It begins before a planet is even formed. Galaxies are like cities. They are built from the inside out. The core and the spiral arms are the industrial zones, where generations of stars have lived, died, and exploded as supernovae. These explosions are crucial. They are the factories that forge heavy elements: iron, silicon, carbon, oxygen, gold. These metals, as astronomers call them, are the building blocks of solid planets and, ultimately, of life. But out on the rim, the galactic metallicity plummets. This region has seen far fewer supernovae. It is a pristine, ancient wilderness composed mostly of hydrogen and helium, the primordial stuff of the Big Bang. If you were born as a star here, you would likely be lonely. The gas clouds are too thin to form large clusters. And if you were born as a planet, you would be a gas giant, a ball of hydrogen spinning in the dark. The rocky terrestrial planets like Earth require heavy elements that simply don't exist in abundance out here. To be born here is to be born into a universe of gas and shadow. There is no solid ground to stand on, no iron core to generate a magnetic field. You are a ghost world, unable to harbor the complex chemistry that leads to biology. It is a sterile, metal-poor wasteland where the potential for life is strangled in the crib. Chapter 2. The View from the Precipice. Let's assume, against the odds, a rocky world did form. What would the night sky look like? On Earth, we are spoiled. We look up and see the density of the spiral arms. But on the rim, the sky is a terrifying study in duality. If you looked toward the galactic center in the direction of Sagittarius, you would see the Milky Way not as a band, but as a distant, glowing spindle. It would occupy only a small slice of the sky, a beautiful, far-off island of light that you are clearly not a part of. It would feel unreachable, a party to which you were not invited. But if you turned around, if you looked outward, you would see nothing, the great void, the vast intergalactic abyss that separates us from Andromeda. There would be no nearby stars to prick the darkness, no nebulae to paint the sky with color. Just an endless, crushing blackness that stretches for 2.5 million light-years. The psychological weight of this sky would be crushing. There is no sense of depth, no sense of neighborhood. Just the distant city of lights on one side, and the infinite, hungry dark on the other. It is the ultimate view of isolation. Chapter 3. The Warp and the Flaring Disk. We often picture the Milky Way as a flat, perfect frisbee. But recent data from the Gaia mission and other surveys have revealed a chaotic secret about the edge. The outer disk of our galaxy is not flat. It is warped, twisted like a vinyl record that has been left in the sun. And it flares outwards, getting thicker and more diffuse at the edges. Being born here means living in a turbulent, unstable region. This warp is likely caused by the gravitational torment of satellite galaxies, like the Magellanic Clouds, tearing at the Milky Way's skirts. Or perhaps it is the result of a past collision with a dwarf galaxy. Whatever the cause, a star system on the edge is riding a gravitational roller coaster. It is not bobbing gently in the stable plane of the galaxy. It is being pulled and torqued by immense tidal forces. This instability introduces a unique peril: ejection. Stars at the edge are loosely bound to the galaxy's gravity. A close encounter with another passing star or a tug from a dwarf galaxy could snap the invisible tether holding you to the Milky Way. You would become an intergalactic rogue star, cast adrift into the true void, traveling alone forever into the darkness between galaxies. It is the ultimate exile. Chapter 4. Exposed to the cosmic storm, living in the galactic suburbs like we do, comes with a hidden perk: protection. The sun's magnetic field, the heliosphere, protects us, but the galaxy itself also has a magnetic field and a density of gas that shields us from the worst of the universe's high-energy particles. Out on the edge, the galactic shield is thin. You are exposed. Extragalactic cosmic rays. These are particles moving at nearly the speed of light, blasted out by supermassive black holes in other galaxies, blazars. On the rim, a planet is bombarded by a higher flux of these deadly particles. Without a thick galactic atmosphere to dampen them, they can strip away a planet's atmosphere and sterilize its surface. Intergalactic wind. As the Milky Way moves through space, it pushes against the tenuous gas of the intergalactic medium. The leading edge of the galaxy, the rim, takes the brunt of this wind. It creates a shock wave, a bow shock where gas is stripped away and heated. To be a star system here is to be standing on the prow of a ship in a hurricane, constantly battered by the headwinds of the universe. It's a terrifying thought, being on the front lines of a galactic collision with the void. It makes you appreciate the quiet, sheltered safety of our own solar system. Do you find the idea of the galactic edge beautiful or terrifying? Would you want to see that view of the galaxy? Or does the emptiness scare you? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy journeying to the strangest corners of space, hit that like button to support the channel. Chapter 5. The Silence of the SETI. Finally, we must consider the tragedy of connection. If intelligent life were to arise on the edge, perhaps on an ocean moon beneath the ice of a gas giant, their isolation would be absolute. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, relies on signals crossing distances. But out on the rim, the distances between stars are vast compared to the core or the arms. A civilization here would be shouting into a hurricane. Even if they developed radio astronomy, they would look at the Milky Way and see a dense, noisy radio source. But their own neighborhood would be silent. They would be too far away to pick up the leakage radiation from other civilizations, like our TV and radar signals. They would be the lonely lighthouse keepers of the galaxy. They might develop philosophy and science. They might dream of others, but the physics of their location would conspire to keep them alone. They are geographically isolated from the galactic conversation. Conclusion. The beauty of the exile. So why is it worse to be born at the Milky Way's edge? Because it is a life of scarcity and exposure. You are starved of the metals needed to build a world. You are battered by the radiation of the intergalactic deep. You are constantly at risk of being flung into the void. And you are forced to live with a view that is a constant reminder of your own insignificance. A distant galaxy on one side, and an eternal nothingness on the other. But perhaps there is a stark beauty in this exile. The edge is a frontier. It is the first line of defense, the boundary between the something and the nothing. A civilization born there would have a view of the universe that we can only dream of, unobscured by dust, clear and deep. They would be the true astronomers of the cosmos, looking not inward at themselves, but outward into the infinite. The universe is full of these lonely outposts, waiting to be understood. If you want to continue exploring the extreme limits of our cosmos, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, look up and be thankful for the heavy metals under your feet and the stars next door.